In this video we'll be continuing with the C# .NET tutorials. So in this video we'll be going over another lab with lists and structs and some other things, I think maybe tokenizing. So for this lab you'll need a text file. So I'll just show you how I store the data in the text file. So I store the data in the text file like this. So it's just, it's like a phone book, so I just have here my cats, me, and all my nieces and nephews, or one nephew and 4 nieces. So I just made some random stuff up. I didn't bother putting the last name, so I just put one character for the last name. So I got this name here, Jasmine space, J space, then a phone number, 111-1234, so it's just the same format like that. We got 8 of them. I'm not sure if we need 8, but I just did 8 just in case. Okay, so we got that. That's the form of the text file. That's what you're going to need on your desktop or documents or wherever. Or you could put it in your IDE somehow. I think you just call the name to do that. Sometimes it doesn't access that for some reason. So if you want, I'm going to do it with a path. So it's up to you. Or if you're just watching it just to see how I do it, that's how I'm going to do it. I set up some stuff here. So we have a list box. So it's called name list box. I got a button here, exit button. Then here I got a label, phone label. That's it. So there's some different kinds of events in here, as well as a load event and stuff. So I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so first thing we'll need to do is add the using system.io directive at the top. So here we'll go here. Okay, so here we'll say using system.io. Then here we'll have to add everything. So first we'll go with a struct under the namespace. You can name it phone book, list, whatever you want. So here we'll go struct phone book. So it's a phone book struct object. Or it's a struct object named phone book. Or it's a phone book object. No, it's a phone book object of type struct, whatever you want to, however you want to say it. There's only 2 fields in here, so public string name and public string, no. Yeah, sorry, 2 public strings. So name and phone. So then here, so we're going to have to do the event handlers and the load event. So let's do the load event first. Okay, so to do the load event, it's a little bit, I don't think we've done this before. But instead of clicking, I have the code to do it, I think. So we'll go, so to do that, we just go this dot form. Nope, sorry, this dot. So this is going to access the form. Then we'll go with this dot. We want the load event. It's an event handler. Then we go plus equals form1 underscore load. So we're accessing this form1 class, which is a form. So we're just going this. Remember, this accesses the class's object. So if you can. Not like, if you go this dot, not always, like for example in Java, if you go this dot, you can access the object's instance data, or the fields technically. But this is a Windows Forms or Windows Form app, so you probably want to do that more in a console app. In a Windows Form app in .NET C#, just calling this will access your form itself. So then once we do that, we'll have to create the event handler again. Whoops. So underneath, what is that doing? I think I'm hitting a shortcut on my keyboard to make it a dual screen. Okay, so here we'll go private void. And we'll say form1 underscore load. And then we just do the same thing here, object sender. Okay, sender's supposed to be lowercase. Okay. And then we'll go with event argz. Okay, so you can see how that worked. I don't think I usually do this with a capital, but it's up to you. We'll just go with lowercase. What else do we have to do? We have to also get the other event handler, which is the we don't have a, well, actually we do have a button, but not the easy one, not the exit button. We're gonna go with here name list box. So let's access our name list box. Name list box dot selected index changed plus equals new event handler. That we want to pass in name list box underscore selected index change. That should be correct. No block. So name list box underscore selected index changed. Then we'll create that under here. So we'll private void name list box underscore selected index changed, passing in as a parameter object sender, comma event args e. There we go. That looks like it's complex, but it's really not. So here, let's go with, okay, so we'll go back up now, back up just to start under the struct. So back up under the struct, then we'll have a field here. So it's going to be a list. Let's go with a private field here, so we'll go with private, where are we actually? We want a field under the class above the constructor, right here. I know if you're used to like Java and C++, you're like, well, what's a partial class? What the hell is this? We'll also talk about that later on. So here we'll have, okay, so here we'll have private list of type. Wait a minute. Why is it phone book entry? I think I named this wrong. Phone book entry. Let's just go with entry. So we'll go with struct phone book entry. Then here we'll go with so we'll go with private list of type list object of type object phone book entry. And I think it was supposed to be capitalized as well. How did I mess this up twice? Okay. Phone book entry. So private list phone book. Isn't phone book one word? Okay, maybe not. Let's just go with phone book entry. Okay, so private list of type object phone book entry. We're gonna name it now. Phone list points to new list of type object phone book entry. Close the angular, then parentheses, semicolon. Okay, so that's it. That's it for the list of type phone book entry objects, or struct objects. Then we'll go with a method underneath the constructor named read file. The read file is going to read the contents from the text file that I talked about to create the text file. So when you're actually doing an app, you'd probably get the data from other places like a database or something. So we'll be talking about databases at the end. I think it might be the first databases stuff on this file, because when I did Java databases, I never made the videos for it. I just studied it myself. I never thought of starting the programming videos. Then I was like, wait a minute, I can make videos, since I'm learning all this stuff too. So I skipped a few classes on Java which I didn't make videos for. But I did do databases before, but we're going to be revisiting them in C#. So this method, the read file method reads the contents of the phone list.txt file and stores it in the phone book entry in the struct. Okay, so then stores it as the phone list.txt file and stores it as phone book entry objects in the phone list. Okay, so we have here, so we'll go private void. We'll call it a read file. No parameters. Open a block. We'll say try, open a block. We'll create a stream reader object named input file, or just an object reference variable. And here we'll have a string line. That's a local string. So the stream reader is going to read the file. String line is going to hold a line of text from the file or a string from the file. Then we'll create an object of the phone book entry structure. So we'll go phone book entry points to new phone book entry. So phone book entry points to new phone book entry. So here we're creating an object of the phone book entry structure to store the data. Okay, so here we'll create a delimiter array. So this is a phone book phone book entry. It's our struct. So we're creating a struct object here. And remember, our struct object has access to these two fields. It has a name field and a phone field, which are strings. So every time you instantiate a phone book entry object, it has access to two fields, which are a name field, a string name field, and a string phone field, which are public. So just be careful with them being public. Just make sure it makes your data more hackable and stuff if it's public. So just be careful. What's wrong with this? Oh, it's missing the catch here, so we'll just add the catch here. So we'll go catch. We'll go exception. I spelled that wrong. Exception. Okay, then here we'll go with exception dot message. Nope, sorry. Message box dot show exception dot message. Okay, so then here we'll go back up here. So this is going to catch any errors and show a pop-up window on your user's app to tell them that there's an error with something, and it'll tell you what the error is. So phone book entry points to new phone book entry. Then we'll create a delimiter array. We don't need this. We'll just do it this way. So we'll go character array delim points to a initialization list. So here we'll go with the character and we'll pass in I think it's a comma. We'll just go with the comma for now. Then we'll create an input stream to the file, to the text file. So I'll do that here. So we'll go input file. Well, actually, that spelled it wrong. Input file points to stream reader dot. No, sorry, we go file dot open text. Then we'll pass in the so I'll just do my path. So just a Windows path, and I'll get the file. What did I call the file? I call it phone list. I think it's phone list.txt. Let me just check what I called it. I forgot what I called it. Okay, so let me just check. I thought I had an underscore in it. Okay, let's see. If I check where it is, the camera's gonna stop. So I just have phone list.txt. Okay, we'll just go with that. I think the @ sign's supposed to be outside of the string literal. So we'll just try and see if it works. Okay, so now we'll get the data from the file. So we already created a stream reader object named input file, so we don't need to say stream reader again. We could have just initialized this whole thing to stream reader input file points to file.openText. But that's okay, so we'll just go under here. So in here we'll go with a while loop here, so we'll say while. We'll say input file is not the end of stream. Then we'll say line points to input file dot read line. So we're going to read each line in the file. Line's going to point to each line in the file. At first it grabs the first line in the file, or it grabs the first line of text in the file until the first new line. So this is the text file here. It'll just get the first line. It won't get the next line in the file, so it just gets the first line. Then we'll create it. We'll instantiate and initialize an array. So we'll go here. String array points to tokens. Actually, sorry. String array tokens points to line.split. Then we'll pass in dlim as an argument. So we'll store the tokens in the entry object. So we'll go entry, whoops. Okay, so where's our entry object? Did I miss something here? Nope. I thought we had read file. I missed something here. Did I? No. Okay, our entry object is, where's the entry object? Here we go. Okay, so phone book entry points to new phone book entry, so it's called entry. Could have gone with entry object here, obj. Entry obj. That stands for object. Okay, so we have, let's take this out for a sec. Okay, so now we'll go back to that. Store the tokens in the entry object. So we're going to store the parts of the string, which are called tokens, in the phone book entry struct object named entry object. So here we'll go with entry object dot, remember it has fields, name points to the tokens array of array index 0. Then here we'll go with entry object. This part's a little tricky, I'm not gonna lie, you have to practice a lot. So here we go with entry object dot phone points to tokens dot tokens array of array index 1. It's just because this part's a little bit tricky, because when you call the split method, you need to automatically point it to a string array. It'll store all the tokens in the array itself. So now when you access, if you want to access, for example, tokens of array index 0, that's going to be a string. Then the next index will be the next string, which will be separated in the string tokens. And now we're saying that the entry object the field will point to the array index 0. So it'll get that first string and point it to the name field. The second string in that array will point to the phone field, so it's a little bit tricky. So then here we'll go with phone list.add, then we'll add the entry object. Okay, that's pretty much it. So then for the, actually no, we have another one to do. A few more to do, okay. So this was the read file, so that's the end of the read file. Now we'll go with something else. So underneath that we'll have display names. So we'll go private void display names. Did I spell this wrong? Exception. Nope, sorry, that should be underneath the catch. So private void display names. As you can see, the text got all red and stuff. It's like, why are you putting that there? Okay, so we have private void display names. And we'll have, why is we getting a red underline here? Oh, sorry, it's still in the method, my bad. To go underneath this bracket here, so we'll go private void display names. Then we'll pass, so empty parameters, and we'll open a block. Okay, that works. And we'll say for each, you can pretend that this is app data instead of a phone book entry. It works the same way, right? So it's just the same thing. Instead of a text file with contacts, you could have like a text file with app data, like users, passwords, usernames, names, birthdays, gender, age, whatever. Some kind of social media app or something else. Banking app, you'd have like card information and stuff. Maybe different information, I don't know. Just depends. Whatever app you're working with. So here we'll have for each, then phone. So okay, what do we want here? So we want to use a for each loop to cycle, or we want to iterate through the data and access and print it out to the user. So here we want to say what kind of variable. So we want to iterate through the phone list. So where's our phone list? All the data is being stored in the phone list data structure. So to access the phone list data structure, we need a pointer object, pretty much, or an object to get the data at each index. So in that case, we'll need a phone book entry object to point to our list, which is full of phone book entry data objects. So here we'll say phone book entry, or we'll go with entry object val in phone list. Sorry, forgot the for each here. No, what am I doing? My bad. Down here. No, where are we? Display names. Okay, so for each phone book entry object val in phone list. Then we'll go name list box dot items dot add. Then we'll add the entry object val, because at each index, basically each index of the list is going to point to a phone book entry structure object which contains fields. In that case, that's going to be the entry object val. That's in the name list box is going to store that entry object val. We could maybe store it as, I don't think we need to use serialization, but you could always go with a 2-string just in case. Okay, so after that, that's pretty much it. So at Form1 load, so then here we'll go with read line. Whoops, no. Read file. Then here we'll go with display names. So two of our methods we're going to call at runtime. Pretty much when the form loads, everything's going to be loaded automatically with no button clicks. That's what this does. Then we have one or two more methods. Okay, so two more, well, pretty much just one hard one. So we have name list box underscore selected index change. This one will go with int index. We'll create a local int index and point it to the name list box dot selected index. And we'll go with phone label dot text points to phone list of index dot phone. Okay, so what's happening here, every time we click on the list box, it basically sets that to the phone label dot text. Then here we'll have just our exit button, which we didn't do. Do not do the exit button. No, we didn't. Okay, so here we'll go exit button plus equals, no, I'll go exit button dot click plus equals new event handler. And I'll pass in object sender, comma, whoops, object sender, comma, what is happening there? What is it? Oh, sorry, I'm doing this wrong, that's why. This should be exit button dot click plus equals new event handler. Here we're going to call it exit button underscore click, semicolon. And under all this we'll create that. Go with private void, what do you call this? Exit button underscore click takes parameter object sender, comma, event args e. There we go. Something's wrong with that. Okay. The C should be lowercase, I think. There we go. Now it works. Then in that exit button, all we want to say is we want to access the form with this keyword and then close. So that it'll just exit. It'll close the form. When the user clicks the exit button, it's just going to close. So that's how you just create an exit for apps, pretty much. Well, with a Windows app. So that's pretty much it. So if you're wondering, well, how does the exit, when I close an app, how does it work? This is how it works. You just tell it that you want it to close, you pass in the parameters, and you call it whatever you want. So our exit button on the design, like, and this is our app here. This is our app, this is like a pop-up window. So when you click exit, it's going to close, and all the data is going to get streamed to these fields here. This is going to show you a bunch of data. You can select one and it'll pop up on a label. It's not like colorful or anything. We haven't added any color codes, which we could. We could do that. Kind of just to practice the list concepts. I'm sure we'll get that later on. Let's just see what we have here. So we go this dot. What do we have access to? What are they called again? There's tons of properties here. Okay, let's just see what we have. I'm in night mode, so you won't be able to even see it. I don't think you might be able to. But that's if I include the app at the end, which I'm not sure if I will. Possibly. I usually don't. But this one we might need to, just because there's a lot of stuff happening. So if I just click the form, this is font color. So I think there's foreground color or something and back color. So let's just see what we have when we click the form. This text is so small. Okay, so let's just see what we have. Back color. Background image back color. Okay, we got back color. Okay, let's try that. Back color. This dot back color points to color dot blue. Let's go with that. That worked. That worked. Okay. That's not going to show up till the form works, till the form actually loads. We could change the font color to. It's going to look kind of ghetto because it's like it's going to look like a ghetto app. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be like an app that's like a ghetto app. I've made some nice ones in my Android tutorials. It's just on my Facebook. I haven't like done the whole tutorial for it. I didn't really start making tutorials till after that. But those ones look pretty good. So here we could just see what else we can do. It's better to do it's called front end code, but you do that usually in XML. But here we can just try changing some other things. So there's all these properties. You can just you can access these properties with this. So we have font color here, so we could just try that too. We go with code here. We'll say this dot font color. I'm not seeing it. Font color. No. Why isn't that popping up? No, it's for color. Okay, for color. Let's just try that. So this dot for color points to color dot ruby red. They don't have ruby red. Okay, so we have. I'm sure there's some kind of red. We'll just go with red. Wasn't there a better one? That's fine. There's probably some better ones out there. I just want to see what else there is here. So go color dot. What else we got? Okay, we got like the standard colors. We got different things. Fire brick red. Okay, there we go. It doesn't say red though. It just says fire brick. Purple, blue, blue violet, dark blue, dark orchid. So there's some more colors here. Dodger blue. Okay. Hot pink, hot yellow, green yellow. We got some other stuff here. Let's see. You can always create your own color codes and use those. You could use hex values for that. Okay, so there's some. We'll just go with the red one. So that's good enough. So we'll probably just leave it at that. And that should be everything. So let me just run it. I may have to compile this because you won't be able to see this because it's going to be a pop-up window. So when the recorder is already recording, it wouldn't catch anything that pops up after, which is kind of dumb. I have another recorder for that, but I don't use it all the time, just because the quality isn't as good. Actually, didn't look too bad. Sorry, yeah. So the audio quality. Okay, it says it can't find the file. Let me check why. Let me just check if I have this as the right name. Oh, I named it wrong. Okay. I went .txt, so let me take that second txt out. Let me just make sure I have that as a period and not a comma, which you can't see what I'm doing here. But let me try that again, see if it runs. Okay, it did, but something's wrong with it. Perhaps something's wrong with the file itself. Okay. Data's there. Phone list.txt. Phone list.txt. Okay, so I called it phone list.txt. So then let me just check what happened here. Something was wrong here. There might be. I might have had an error somewhere. I might have to check it. Might have to actually just check it and then compile the rest of the video after. Let's just see. Okay, let me just save that and try it again. Okay. Oh, it is work, but data is not coming up completely. Some of it's missing. And, okay, something's wrong. I think because maybe I changed it. I added a toString in here. Let's just try taking this out. Let me try that. I'm just going to control S it to save it and then run that. Got some nice colors here, pink, yellow, orange. Okay, nope, that didn't change anything. We're missing half of the... was there a space in there too? Did I put a space in there? What's her... I think there's... Maybe I might have done a space in there. Let's try this. Let me open it. There might have been a space in there. Let me just see how the file looks in the example. Sorry about that. So let's just have a look here. Okay, so there is a space, which would have been skipped because... Okay, I think I might know why. Let's put this... I'll tell you, someone's like, what the hell is he doing? He's like, not even showing us what he's doing. Don't worry, I'm going to show you guys right now. Hold on one sec. Okay, so I think what happened is there's not supposed to be a space. Okay, here's our pretend file down here. I don't think there's supposed to be a space there, so we'll just go with, we'll try to move that text back here. Let's try that. That's what I did. So you can try that. You can update your file like that. I'm going to do that, save it, and try that. Okay, nope. It's close, but not there yet. Okay, so I'm gonna have to check this then. So let's start at the top. Do we have our struct at the top? Using system.io, we have our struct phonebook entry. Then we have, okay, sorry, I got all this text here. Did I add some extra stuff? Okay, anyways, we'll just go with that. So private list phonebook entry. Oh, so private list of type phonebook entry object named phone list points to new list of type phonebook entry. Okay, then we have our this.load points to plus equals form1.load. That should be all correct. So read file, we have a try, stream reader input file, string line, phonebook entry, entry object points to new phonebook entry, character array dlim points to an initialization list with a comma as the character. Open the file. Input file points to file.openText passing in the path. Okay, so while not input file dot end of stream. Read a line from the file. Line points to input file dot read line. string array tokens points to line.split passing in dlim. Entry object or entry obj. We're passing an entry obj to every part so far. So entry obj.name points to tokens array of array index 0. Entry.phone points to tokens array of array index 1. PhoneList.add entry object. Catch the exception, so it shouldn't be the catch. So display names, private void display names. For each phone book entry object val in phone list, name list box dot items dot add entry object val. We had a 2-string there, we took it out, I think. Read file and display names. Okay, so here for the name list box underscore selected index changed. So int index points to name list box dot selected index. Phone label dot text points to phone list of array index index dot phone. Should be correct. Took the 2-string out. Let me just try that again. It's saying Windows Forms app space. Okay, let me try. I think it's printing us out a little bit of some object data. A little bit of object data for some reason. I'm going to have to make that text smaller, so I'm going to click that name list box. I'm going to click here, that size. We could just, well, we could change it by code. We'll just quickly change it with the click. I'll just change it. Okay, so I'll go with 12. Just to see if we can see everything. I'll save that with a Control S. I'll go back to the code. I'll click run. Oh, it just says Windows Forms app17 phone book entry. It's just showing us the numbers. Okay, so I think a 2-string would be better, and I think something's wrong with the data in the way that it was processed. So it could be, let me just see, have a look at the file again. So let me have a look at this data. There's our pretend file here. So there's a comma and no space, so that's correct, and a hyphen. So the delimiter is correct, it's just looking for the comma. Let me check the actual file. There's a comma and no space. Okay, so then I'm thinking it's something to do with a 2-string or something like that. Or an ref. Missing an ref from here. Let me just see what any more notes I have somewhere on my computer here for this. Okay, so we have the data, so it should look like the label was supposed to get set. So let's see if the label was set. That's correct, the label is set. Okay, so the label is working fine. It's only supposed to show the phone number, so that's correct. But the name to the list box is just showing a phone book entry. Okay, so let me click the exit button. Okay, so we have to the text box. Display the data to the text box. dot add, let's go dot toString here again. Save that and run it. No. It's just showing entry, it's not showing the name. It could be something to do with the .NET version that I'm using and the .NET that I'm looking at. I'm looking at an example for .NET. It might be an older example versus a new .NET. That could be it. I'm thinking it could be, for example, printing out object data. Do we have object of toString here? Why is this doing this like that? Dot add entry object val without that. Dot add dot. Maybe it didn't work the first time. Let's try this. Nope. It's half there. It's half the. It's not showing it properly in the list box. Okay. Dot add. What else do we have? Usually a toString works. It worked in Java. I'm just trying to figure out what. Could be something else. Object. No. Object. Dot toString. No, that can work. No. Okay. Entry object. Phonebook entry of. Can we go type string here? No, I think we'd have to change all those types as well. Entry object val dot name. Let's try that maybe. I think that actually might fix it. Okay, yeah, there we go. So it worked now. So let me actually. I'll try to include what the form looks like because we added some colors and stuff. So let me go with where we at the designer. We'll change this. We'll add the text size to like 22. Then we'll save it. We'll go back to the code. You could also. I think you can tag on a dot toString here as well. We'll try that. Because remember, we accessed. You want the field. So what it was printing out some object data. When we just added the entry object val. So to access. So what we wanted was the name field of the entry object val to be printed. So in this case, we printed that properly now with the dot name field dot toString. Okay, so now everything works. When you click the data, it prints the phone number to the label, and you can click the exit button to close the app. So it's just kind of like a ghetto app, nothing crazy. But it shows you how to move the data around, get the data to the controls and all that. Alright, so that's pretty much it. So I'll take a video of the. I'll try to take a video of the actual app. If not, if I forget, it just looks like this. Actually, I don't. Well, there's no color here because we coded the color. But we could try to change the color here. Okay, so we'll click the form. We'll go with forward color. What did we do first? Back color. We changed it to blue. Some colors. oh, okay, it wasn't this color, but it was a color. This, I think it was this color, blue, and then we went with 4 color too. So we already coded this, it's just that the code, it's not XML, so it doesn't update automatically until you run it. And then we went here with back color and then 4 color to red. There's I live across from an elementary school, and there's like kids, there's an ice cream truck outside, and the school just ended, and they're freaking out. Okay, I think it was red. There we go. Should be red right there. So what happens is the data from, so what's going to happen is that these names from this text file, just the names, not the phone number, just the names are going to be placed in this list box here. It's going to go from the top to bottom, just like the exact same order here. Then in this label, when you click one of those items in the list box, the number gets printed to the label in red. And this exit button, when you click the exit button, the app closes. So I actually might not include it. I'll just show you how the app's color works right there. So that's pretty much it. So that'll be the end of the tutorial. So thanks for watching, guys. If you guys liked the video, you can like and subscribe to support the channel for more programming and investing tutorials. In the next video, we'll be going over the image list container and data structure and csharp.net. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Thanks.